Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the Sim Shack, welcome back to me, Sim UK, and welcome back to Sailaway. We are currently, if you remember from the last episode, just docked up outside of Ilfracombe, and we've got a headwind coming straight at us at about 17-18 knots. If I switch to the windy app real quick, if I switch, oh good, oh hello English. Let me switch over to the windy app. And the wind is coming in about 17 knots straight at us. But if we can just get round that break on Ilfracombe there, then we could start heading down here with almost a breach, almost a breach reach or whatever it's called, at 16 knots, and then it's just plain sailing all the way down here to St Ives, which we've been trying to get to for the last few days. It's not perfect sailing conditions, but if I can't get this boat going a little bit faster than 5 knots today, then it's just literally not capable of doing it. I'm going to start off tacking, trying to get ourselves out of the Ilfracombe Bay. Start by raising the main halyard, and we'll just see how awful this is. You can see how much we're heeling immediately. 30-degree heel, 35-degree heel. We are pushing the boat to its limits already. But how fast are we going? That's the key thing. 2.8 knots into the wind. It's not the worst situation in the world. We hiccup in the stream there. That voice thing all good now. Yeah, sorry, I switched to the wrong channel by my own mistake, basically. But yes, if we could just tack our way out far enough to be able to get a beam reach heading down the south coast, we should get some proper speed up here. Now, I was thinking probably not the best weather. I mean, you can see the sea swell's pretty big for a little boat like this. I mean, challenging is probably the correct word. But let's see if I can trim this up a bit. There you go, look at that. We're doing 4 knots into the wind. Well, nearly 4 knots into the wind. That's pretty good. I think we're going to get 9 knots out of it today. Fingers crossed. All going well. Yes, I've got some big news. I've got some really big news regarding the Sim Shack and real life sailing. Real life sailing. Oh, is he? I hope he's having a good time. I've got to get on War Thunder at some point and try that out, man. That's on my to-do list. But yeah, 2 pieces of big news I've got for you today. The boat that I put a bid on, that I got outbid on last week, is still available for sale. Which is quite exciting. That's the one that's in Cardiff. That's the one that started this entire Cardiff to Poole sailing experience, test experience sort of thing. But as ever, you know, the more I look and learn about boats, the more uncertain I become, and the more confused I get, and the more things I've got to think about, and so on and so forth. So I'm not entirely sure whether the deep, long single keel is right for me and right for the conditions in the UK, because we have a lot of tidal areas. So I need to be able to theoretically let the boat sit on the ground and dry out a bit, and you can't do that with a single keel. because it's just a single keel and it'll fall over. I'm still in the running for that boat. I am, yeah. And I've actually asked the guy for a few more pictures of the boat. And I've got to say, I can see why he didn't put them up initially. It's probably the best way to put it. So, yeah, the inside living quarters of the boat are maybe not as splendid as I would like. But it's still a very good boat and a very good price, so it's still an option. It's still a thought process. It's still a consideration. But the interesting news is there's a slightly bigger, slightly newer, arguably better conditioned boat, but it's a twin keel. So basically what that means is instead of having one massive keel down the middle, it's got two smaller ones either side. Now the original, it's a MacWester by the way, the original MacWesters had very small keels in this configuration, which meant that it didn't sail very well. But apparently the MacWester 28 has slightly longer keels, which means that it will sail slightly better. So they are the same price, approximately. One is slightly bigger than the other. Obviously, one's a 27 foot, and one's a 28 foot. I mean, we're talking very small margins. But the interesting thing about the second one is I made an offer, which was rejected, but a counter offer has been provided. So I know I could get that at this particular given price. Now the price that he's asked for is beyond my price range, truth be told, but it may be a good investment. It's difficult to say because both of these boats obviously are the other side of England, so they're kind of unseen at this moment in time. I haven't actually gone there to look at them and inspect them and see what they're like. I've also got the 22s to go look at tomorrow. No, Friday, sorry. So, 3 boats on the horizon, all about the same price, vastly different. One is a lifting keel, one's a twin keel, one's a single keel. So, and if you ask, I mean, the pros and cons for each keel type are pretty obvious. But I've got to try and figure out what's best for me as a beginner sailor in the UK. That's kind of the trouble that I've got to figure out. Yeah, it's really interesting how many options. I mean, 2 days ago or 3 days ago when I last streamed, I didn't think there was any hope at all for a boat coming up. I thought that was it. I thought I'd missed my window, so to speak. And not only did the same boat come up again, but a couple of extra boats have appeared as well. So, sailing world is an interesting one. Wondering how far out should I go here? I've got to maintain a 30-degree angle, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to get to that orange line. Once we get past Ilfracombe and heading towards Heartland, perhaps, I think we can actually get some proper pace out of this boat. But at the moment we're sailing almost dead into the wind. Not a huge amount I can do about that. I wonder if I bring up the jib, if that's going to help or hinder us. That may cause us to heel over too much. Okay, that's jumped us right up to 5 knots. And we're not heeling over any more than we were before. So, okay, we're all good. We've almost doubled our speed and maintained a 30-degree heel. That's pretty good stuff. The one thing I have realised is that all the boats I'm looking at and all the boats I can afford they're all cruisers. All of them are cruisers. Which basically means they don't go very fast. I think they give them like a hull speed or something like that, which is around about 5 or 6 knots, which is not fast at all. And basically what that means, I've discovered, is that it can go faster than 6 knots, but it will take an awful lot of pressure, i.e. wind, well-managed wind, in order to get going any faster than 6 knots. So if you can squeeze more than 6 knots out of a boat that I'm looking at, then you're doing extremely well. So what that does mean, there's pros and cons to that. There's pros and cons to everything, of course. Pros and cons are, at that speed, the boat should be more stable. It should heel less. It should be more comfortable for passengers and less likely to capsize. That's basically the pros of it. The cons are, it takes you twice as long to get anywhere. But if you're not in a rush to get anywhere and you want things to be nice and casual, then you should be fine. That seems to be about the size of it. "19 knots of wind." Yeah, we'll see what we can get this boat up to today. I mean, this is good racing weather. Not sure how good it is for this particular boat, but we'll do our damnedest to head towards St Ives. Obviously, got a few hours before I have to meet up with the guys. We have dinner at 5, so I've got maybe 3.5 hours. I'd be very surprised if we make it all the way to St Ives in 3.5 hours, but if we start kicking out 9, 10, 11 knots, which I'm not convinced this boat is capable of, then you never know. You never know. We might get halfway there. We'll give it a bloody good thwack. See what happens. Trying to get some, trying to get the camera angled straighten out. Starting to induce a bit of seasickness. Yeah, it's quite big swells today. I was looking at another boat. One of the most stable boats you can get, or one of the most comfortable boats you can get, is a Cornish cutter, I think it's called. And they're an interesting boat. They're very thin or slimlined. They tend to have a single or twin split keel. And they're very deep. Like the headroom is 6 foot 2 inches or something like that. Which means that when you climb down into the galley, you are literally below the waterline. Which is kind of weird. So I looked at one of those. It's got the most incredible comfort rating I've ever seen. Sort of up into the 45, 50 area. But yeah, she is an old boat. Very old boat. Which brings with it a whole host of new problems and stuff. So yeah, boat hunting is an exciting part of the journey. It all begins there. We're absolutely flying along here. 5 knots, beautiful. That's about all we managed in the last episode. 5.5, I think, was the most I got out of her. Be patient. Don't turn in too early. Hold the tack as long as possible. Maybe we're heeling a little bit too much. I think it's impeding our speed. So let's think about reefing, shall we? Try and put a single reef in here. Okay, let's reduce the heel slightly. Just out of the water now. Still maintaining speed, so that seems like a good idea. Going to be interesting to see how different an experience it is in the real boat compared to this. So I'm sat here looking at this and I'm thinking this is pretty extreme sailing right now. But in the boat, in the real boat, I think this would feel more like death-defying stunts. I'd feel like I was pushing too fast, too hard. It'd also be quite exhilarating. I've got to admit. Done this in calm, windy conditions. On a very big yacht. That was a lot of fun. Size of the boat is obviously going to be another consideration. There's so many things I want to do as well. There's a lot of like inland things, inland places I want to go. I was thinking I could do like a coastal tour of the UK and focus on going to see every single sea-based castle that still exists. I think that would be nice if it was in reach. Now again, trying to work out the theoretical possibilities of that. You always flick back to, you know, a single keel, excellent for blue water sailing. Should you ever hit any debris or anything out there, you know, unless you're very unlucky, it should just cope with it and move on. Whereas the twin keels are more susceptible to taking damage, and there's nothing there protecting your rudder. So I understand those concerns, but You know, if I want to sail down the local rivers and channels in Britain to Buckler's Hard, down Bewley River and places like that, I can't have a keel that's 2 meters deep. I just can't, because the water there is not deep enough. So that's where the split keel comes into its own, because it's only like 60 centimeters deep, which means I can travel a lot further inland. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I want to be able to do as much as possible, all kinds of different sailing. I want to sail around the UK. I want to go into the North Sea. I'd like to go over to like Norway and Holland, France, down the French coast and into the Mediterranean. These are all things that I'd like to do. And you could do that with a twin keel, and you could do that with a single keel, but you wouldn't be able to do the inland stuff. I feel like I'm limiting myself somewhat. Also, if I can find a nice bay area that's tidal, having a twin keel means I can effectively dry the boat out more often. And it also gives you access to the underside of the boat, so you can clean it off and keep it well maintained. There are a lot of benefits to it, I've got to admit. Although, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a piece of debris rips my rudder off because there's no keel there to protect it. I'm going to think I made the wrong decision. But you just got to hope and pray, I suppose, that never, ever, ever happens. Alrighty, how we doing? Looking pretty good. Still maintaining 4.7 knots. If I'd have just managed to get to Rockham Bay, I think it is, or Mort Bay. If I could have just squeezed the boat round a little bit further, we'd be on a broad reach already, and we'd be absolutely flying down the coast right now. But I've got to put this tack in first. I've got to put the tack in so that we can get the angle, come off the island. We'll see what the boat can do. Can I get it past six knots? And if so, by how much? 9 is my target. It's a huge target. For this particular boat. Right, before I forget, I'm just going to neck one of these hay fever tablets. My eyes feel like we're in a swimming pool. Thank you, Baggy. Very helpful. Get the old fan open as well. Keep the temperature down in here. 4.7 speed over ground. Ah, look, this is the perfect example. If I can just get underneath this boat a second. There we go. You can see that there's a single keel. Single keel boats are brilliant at sailing into the wind. Get a couple of extra knots of speed out of it. But as I say, they obviously dip. They extend lower into the ocean to give you that maximum stability. Which, you know, for most people, if you're going to do a lot of blue water sailing, and that's essential. But if you want to go inland and sail up and down the local rivers and stuff, it's just going to get in the way. So I'm kind of veering towards a twin keel now, or bilge. I think they call them a bilge keel. I'm not entirely sure if there are different kinds of twin keels, but bilge keel is what I'm looking at now. What I'm considering now. But I mean, it's only been in the last 24 hours that I've started thinking like that. So I may change my mind again. It's a minefield out there. So many things to note and think about. And I was talking earlier about the hull speed of this particular boat being just 6 knots. 6 knots doesn't sound very fast, and it isn't very fast. But you can change the rigging so that you have a third sail, and that dramatically changes things. That then makes your boat very secure, very stable, but also very fast. So, I mean, I don't know how much that would cost. Probably a couple of thousand. Plus the cost of the sail. And the sheets, etc. So, it's something to look at in the future, perhaps. Not straight away, but... yeah, I mean, have a very robust, stable boat that can dry itself out and sit on the on the bed of a tidal bay seems very, very good. And with that option of having a different rig configuration, giving you the extra speed, it almost feels like the better choice. It really does. Looking at the angle now, I think it's too early. It's going to hold off for a few more minutes. Just a couple more minutes and we can tack. I just thought of another potential opportunity. Obviously, I'm going to go see this 22-foot lifting keel tomorrow. I'm a bit scared of lifting keels. Maybe not in shallow water, but when you get out to the big ocean, I just feel like having holes in your hull are a bad idea. No offence, if anybody's got a lifting keel boat and they love it to bits, I'm sure it's brilliant. I'm just nervous of it, really. But yeah, David, bless him, the bloke who owns this boat, he's owned it for 2 years and his health just hasn't allowed him to go out and sail it. So I was thinking, you know, if I go see this boat and I don't like it, or it just doesn't feel right and I don't put a bid in, what I might say to him is, you know, David, I'll happily take you out on your boat and do some sailing, and you can sit at the helm and we can sail it. I'll do all the hard work. You can maybe teach me a thing or two. You know, I think that'd be a nice trade-off. I don't know how he'd react to that. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy. So, you know, maybe he's keen to do that. Maybe he's not. I mean, I know he wants to sell the boat, so possibly not, but he says he loves the boat. He says he really loves the boat. It's his favourite boat he's ever owned, and he's never sailed it. And I just feel like that's a bit of a travesty. So, you know, maybe I can offer to take him out, do a bit of sailing. He can impart some knowledge on me. He's a very knowledgeable sailor by all accounts. I think that's like a win-win situation, right? Hello, Chris. How you doing? Are you agreeing with the lifting keel thing? Yeah, it's a bit scary, isn't it? The concept of it makes me nervous. I mean, I was speaking to David briefly about it, and he did say to me, the beauty of a lifting keel is, especially when you're learning, if you make a mistake and you run aground, you just lift the keel up and off you go. You just, you know, I made a mistake. Lift the keel up, move the boat to another location, drop it back down, and off you go again. It's like, I could see the logic of it. I could see why they were invented. But, yeah, I think the further away you get from shore, the less confident I feel about the whole idea of a lifting keel. I don't know. Maybe that's unfounded. I don't know. But that's just how I feel. No, it doesn't. Exactly. The feeling is wrong. Feeling is wrong. And also, I've not really thought about this until literally this second now. You know, it's a lifting keel. Some of them work on hydraulics. Some of them work on winches. Some of them are just manual, you know, 50 kilos of weight. You've just got to lift it up. You know, okay, great, wonderful, superb. What stops it from going all the way through? Because if you lift it one day and the top comes off, then your keel is just going to shoot out the bottom of your boat and disappear into the bottom of the ocean. And then presumably all that water is going to come into the boat, right? I just can't see how I can get past that kind of nightmare potential situation. But I'm that much of a novice that I concede I don't know if what I'm talking is absolute rubbish or a valid argument, but that is my concern over lifting keels anyway. So at the moment, today, for the last 24 hours, I'm a split keel man. For the reasons mentioned. With the accepted realisation that it doesn't protect the rudder. I understand that. I wish it did. I wish there was something I could do to protect that. Some, actually, I don't know if they're called tri keels. Instead of having twin, you have 3, and the third one sits at the back just in front of the rudder. Now that, to me, seems like the best of all situations. Because then you got that little bit of protection on the rudder, a little bit of extra force, if you will, to try and get the boat to go faster. But I haven't seen one of those. I don't even know if they exist. But it just seems to me that would be the perfect solution. That's a good point actually, Chris. I hadn't thought about that really. Yeah, you got the maintenance of it as well, especially if it's hydraulic or electronic. Because stuff like that can fail on a boat at any time. They're incredibly rickety things, boats, or electronics on boats, I've discovered. As I say, a couple of days ago, I did spend a couple of hours or an hour or whatever watching like a tutorial guide on installing electrics into boats, and it's so simplistic. There's nothing really complicated. I mean, you have to know how to do it. Obviously, you have to learn how to do it. But the whole system is a very simple system. It's just connect everything up to a battery, put them on switches, and away you go. Good luck. Hope it doesn't get wet. That's kind of it. Which is a little bit nerve-wracking. I remember when I was doing the electrics in the shed, I was pretty scared. But actually that went fine, and it's worked fine, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. So, you know, maybe it's just a healthy fear of electricity or something. Having damn near electrocuted myself once, I do have a healthy fear of electricity. And I had a friend as well at college who actually got proper electrocuted, and he had scarring all up his arm. And, I mean, other than the scarring, he was absolutely fine, but, yeah. A healthy fear of electricity, I think, is a good thing. I forget now how he electrocuted himself. Can't remember. It was something daft. He stuck his fork into the socket on the wall or something ridiculous like that. Can't remember now. I think he was quite young when he did it. But anyway, I digress. Can we turn yet? I think still too early. We're almost there. We can almost do it. But I don't want to have to tack and then tack again. That would be an awful situation. I'm just going to sit and hold this angle for a little bit longer. Whilst we sit and watch the wonderful sea physics in this game. I guess it comes down to where you're going to be sailing. If you're just doing tidal, then the Twin is perfectly fine, I'd say. Yeah. I think it's designed more for that, isn't it? Yeah. If you're not going to go very far off the coast, then it should be absolutely fine. Like I say, the boat I'm looking at has the extended twin keels. So they're a little bit longer, which makes them a little bit more effective at the job they're supposed to be doing. Listing over quite far. I think we're healing too much again. Let's bring in a bit more reef. There we go. Less sail, less heel, more speed. What we're after. It's a win-win-win. So yeah, there are, I think, people. Actually, that's a good question. I think there are people. I'll Google this now on my phone, whilst I'm just patiently waiting for us to move far enough along that I can tack back without hitting the island or the corner of Britain. So, has anyone sailed around the world in a twin keel? Oh, that's interesting. I've just learnt that a twin keel becomes more effective with the increase of heal, whilst a single keel becomes less effective as you heal more. That's something I didn't know. So there's the lesson learnt. But, oh, hang on. Maybe I should call it a bilge keel. Okay, here's another factor I hadn't thinking about. Twin keels pick up twice as much sea junk because you have two keels, obviously. And if there is another configuration as well with twin keels. You can have twin keels with the rudder in the middle, which obviously is unprotected, and I'm a bit concerned about that, which is why I said about the third keel possibility. But there are also boats where the rudders have been moved to the outside of the boat, so you've got two rudders which then sit behind the two smaller keels. So they are protected to a degree. But yeah, it's going to pick up more crap, obviously. Somebody's written here, plenty of twin keels have crossed the ocean and stayed the right way up. So obviously they can sail across the world. But then he goes on to say, avoid the lift keel, which has a reputation for falling off when you least expect it. Which comes back to what we were saying earlier, Chris. So yeah, there's a bit of a concern there, I guess. All boats are a compromise. I think that's the reality of it, isn't it? All boats are a compromise. Ah, right. Here's an argument for twin keels. A chap whose name I don't know sails north to the Arctic for 2 decades. His choice: small twin keeled. And the reason for this is because in bad weather they slide sideways down the waves rather than tripping on a deep keel. Which is quite a valid argument. If you're expecting bad weather, you want it to be as least bad as possible. So there's a few arguments there, more arguments than I was expecting, in favour of twin keel. So I think maybe I'm looking at a twin keel now, realistically, based on where I am as a sailor and where I am planning on sailing as a sailor. That's basically what I'm saying. Right, let's have a go at this tack. I think it's too early, but unless you try, you'll never know. That was a pretty good tack, actually. I'll give myself a little pat on the back for that. Although you can see immediately we are heading straight towards the shore. So, obviously, my angle perception is absolutely horrific. Yeah, there's no way on earth we can tack this early. Oh man, tacking is so frustrating. You just end up sailing further and further away from where you actually want to go. There's no alternative, is there? Alrighty. Carry on in this direction for a little bit longer. You were going to say that any keel is okay, except for deep fin keel, which is more for racing. Oh, that's okay. So the deep fin keel is the skinny one. It's not the full length of the boat, or not the full length of the hull. It's just like a little skinny, sticky down it, kind of like a lifting keel, but fixed. And it normally has like a bulb on the bottom as well, I think, doesn't it? To give it that extra bit of resistance against capsizing or whatnot. Yes, yes, I agree. I'm not too keen on those either. I don't think they're suitable for families and beginners. That's more sort of, yeah, like you said, it's more for racing and whatnot. Yes, I'm in complete agreement with you there, Chris. 100%. The more I think about it, I mean, the more I read about it, the more I learn. Bloody hell, that's half an hour already. Where did that go? The more I think about it, the more I learn. The twin kills are looking and sounding more and more promising, I think. I really like the fact... I really like the fact that if I can find a good location, then I can let the tide go out, let the boat sit on the keels, and then I can get underneath it and clean it, you know, and just make sure it's all in good working order. That is very appealing to me. I've got to admit. 100%. Yeah, definitely want to do some blue water sailing. I suspect I will be doing that solo or with another man who is interested in trying to learn about blue water sailing, in favour of taking the wife and kids, because I think it's going to be quite scary, quite dangerous, potentially dangerous anyway. So I wouldn't want to take the wife and kids on a journey like that until I felt I was, quote unquote, a very accomplished sailor. Until I feel like I can deal with any situation, I don't think I would want to put anybody else's life in danger. But what I'm discovering as well, there's quite a lot of YouTube channels of people, new sailors. I can't believe how many people have bought a boat, and all of them almost are saying, I bought the boat, I had no sailing experience, I didn't know what I was doing, and I learned everything on the job. The number of people like that, unbelievable. Bumbling sailor, yes, Chris. That is one of the chaps. Although I'm going to have to go back and watch some of his earlier videos, because I've seen his very first one. I think he's sailing a 22-footer, isn't he, or something? Although I watched his first one, he seems to have gone from knowing absolutely nothing to sailing here, there, and everywhere, with very little in between sort of progression that I've seen. So I need to go back to the beginning and just figure out how he's done that. Because what I'm discovering, like I discovered yesterday, oh, he's upgraded to a 30-foot Scampi. Nice. Ah, you're way ahead of me. I haven't even seen that. I haven't seen that one. The things I'm discovering, like yesterday, talking to David, the chap who I'm going to go look at his boat on Friday, and he said to me just nonchalantly, you know, if you're going to moor in Christchurch, then you've got to be really careful getting out of Christchurch, because the banks, there are so many banks, and they move about all the time. And it's like, you know, I kind of knew that, but for him to just casually say, you know, it's super, super difficult just to get out of Christchurch, kind of, it was a bit of a slap in the face realization of, you know, I have no idea where the banks are. I don't really know. how I would figure that out. You know, there's so many things I still don't quite understand. I'm in no illusion. I don't think I'm like God's gift to sailing or anything like that. But there's a part of me that feels like I can just figure it out as I go. But then if you can't even get out of Christchurch Bay without getting stuck on a bank, you know, I mean, that's quite... I'm not entirely sure what I would do if I got stuck on a bank. That's part of the problem. So, I mean, there's a lot of reading, a lot of learning, a lot of practice, a lot of theory. I've still got lots to learn. Lots to learn. It's going to be a hell of an experience, I tell you. Oh, the other one had major issues. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. That's the other thing, you know, I don't know for sure that any boat I buy isn't just going to sink all by itself in the next week or two because there's something wrong with it. I have to kind of trust the person I'm buying off and trust my own instincts and just try and keep it afloat for as long as possible. But again, Chris, that's one of the issues. The banks that are there in Christchurch, they're there at high tide and low tide. They just move around. Now, I don't actually know whether they move around sporadically or whether they move around consistently, or I don't know what to expect, and I don't know where to look to find that information out. So it's put the willies up me a little bit, if I'm being honest. Because obviously this route that we're doing now, down the Cardiff Strait or whatever it's called, not the Cardiff Strait, sorry, the Bristol Channel. I know there are banks down here because it's tidal, but I just kind of felt like it's so big, and as long as I left at high tide, I'd be fine. And here it probably is the case. You know, I probably would have got away with it if I only sailed at high tide. But in Christchurch, the escape route, if you will, is so thin, you're really going to have to tiptoe your way through there. Oh, you're in the same position buying a boat as well. You're going to get a survey. Yeah. See, that's another thing I don't really know how that works. There's so much I don't know. There's so much I've got to learn. I mean, because I'm buying a boat on eBay, you can't really get a survey before. So I guess I'm going to have to get a survey after I've bought it. I need to find somebody who surveys boats and become best buddies with them as quick as possible. They can give me mates rates. It's going to be tricky. There's a lot of positives to the boat I'm looking at now, to be honest. There are a lot of positives. I've already mentioned about the re-rigging option to make it go faster. I mean, that's not at the moment, that's nowhere near a priority. Wanting a boat to go faster is something that an experienced sailor does. I'm going to turn into the wind a little bit more. I feel like we're not quite getting best out of the boat here. There we go. It's a bit more like it. 4.7 knots. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's copper based, copper lined hull, sorry. Copper lined hull, which means that you can leave it in the water more. You don't need to anti-foul it so much or at all. I've got to look up on that as well, but I know it's a benefit. But, you know, I've looked at the pictures and it's not It's definitely not in mint condition. It's. I'm going to have to put a lot of time and effort into sorting the boat out. I know this. Which is why the price is low, and I understand that. And I want to be one of these guys. I want to be one of these guys who can take the engine apart and rebuild it, and have it running sweeter than ever. But again, you know, until you've got a boat, until you've got your hands on these things, none of that's going to happen. Yeah, Chris, that's not a terrible idea, actually. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I think it ends today. So watch this space. Watch this space. Oh, hello. On the lookout for German U-boats lost and still thinking the war is still waging. Well, it is, right? There's U-boats out here. We all know it. Don't deny it. Or you know they're out here. Just they're not German anymore. They're Russian. Or Chinese, perhaps. I don't know. I forget what the BBC have told me this week. Yeah, if he's okay with that, I might be onto a winner. You're right. You're right. I think also it's been used as a live-on boat. So I don't think it's been sailed an awful lot for a while. Which probably, off the top of my head, probably isn't good for the sheets, probably isn't good for the, I don't know what you call them, the bits that the sheets run through. They're not the winches, but the, like the runners and the stoppers and all those kind of things. Because they're just going to get wet and seize up or whatever. I'm probably going to have to WD-40 the living daylights out of it. I know that for a fact. Take all the sails down. Maybe change all the sheets. I don't really know. I mean, that I have no idea how to do that either. Got an awful lot of work to do and learn. Irvin, how you doing, buddy? How's your holiday today? I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Very well indeed. Just trying to get to the point where I can tack our boat and start heading the way we actually want to go. Taking a little while to get there. Close, right? Let's try 2 degrees tighter. Yeah. You don't think I should tack for a while yet? I think you're probably right. I think I'm deluding myself. If the angle of the wind was just slightly more in the southward direction, we could tack right now. But you're right. In order to get any angle purchase off that wind angle, I'm going to be going right into the shore. Oh, how infuriating. I hate sailing. We had a workmate in Portsmouth who went through all his sailing exams and whatnot, and then he bought a boat. He had to prove he could do the knots too. Yes, I've got a bit of string. Oh no, I've forgot to bring my piece of string with me. I was going to show you some of the knots I'd learned. Oh, nuggets. I can't remember what I've done with the string. So I found the piece of string yesterday. It's like, you know, it's not very long. 45 centimetres long. But it's brand new piece of string. I've no idea where it came from. Just turned up. Yeah. I watched a video the other day and a bloke was doing the... I think they call it the day skipper's exam. I think that's what it's called. From the RYA. Look at that, we're doing 5 knots. Woohoo! That's better. That's more like it. Yeah, and he said he had to do knots, so the holiday's going very good. The morning me, mum, dad went a little walk to see where the pubs are. Nice, pubs are good. And we went to the swimming pool and relaxed, and we had lunch, and now I'm watching you. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Glad you're having a good time. You've been practicing with shoelaces. Oh man, I've just got images of you like sneaking up on people and tying their shoelaces together in different kind of knot combinations. It was a barrel of laughs at the bar on work nights out, showing us his knots. Don't be that guy. There's a fear of that, you know. There is a fear of that. I kind of half take the mickey out of train nerds, because my brother is one. You know how they're all like, the 847 had a different colour of green than that kind of level of detail. There are many sailors who are like that as well. And pilots. Anything where there's a lot of technical knowledge, you find people like that. And I could easily see myself becoming one of those guys. I was talking about it to the wife the other day. By the way, she's absolutely sick to the back teeth of me talking about sailing. So, yeah, she's not in the least bit interested in anything I have to say regarding sailing anymore. Oh, on. No. Back on the boat. Oh my god, we've lost a lot of speed though. What's happened? We're heeling at 30. The sails look trimmed. Or maybe not. There we go. Fixed it. Exactly that. Look, I can tie your shoes together with a bowline. I think bowline is one of the ones I've learnt. I've learnt how to do some knots. I haven't actually learnt their names, which could be interesting. Because if the examiner asks me to do one particular type of knot, and I do a different one, I'm not sure if that's going to be a particularly good situation. Might end up failing me for that. Woohoo! Camera's all out of control. Nice. There we are, bobbing along on the old whatever the lyrics were. Ay. Hello, Spike. Hey there, buddy. I am going faster today. We were doing... Well, no. We managed to get 5.5 knots the other day. And the fastest we've hit today is 5 knots. But that is 5 knots into the wind. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. And as soon as I get far enough away from Britain and I can tack in... I wonder if I can tack now. No, probably not. Once we can tack, Kev, we'll be pushing the boat to its limits. I'm hoping for 9 knots. But I can't turn yet because we'll just sail straight into the edge of Britain, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Pictures of Sim UK doing the not trying scene from Jaws. Is that when the cigarette falls out of his mouth? That's quite a good idea, actually. Is that what he was doing? A bowline just as the shark took the bait? Fantastic. I think that's a really good idea. I think that would make for a fantastic thumbnail, if nothing else. I've even got the old sailor's beard, which I can chuck on. I mean, not the one I've got, fake one. What's going on here? Temporarily lost control of the boat. Okay, how we doing? 4.9 knots. With this good speed in the wrong direction. We're getting there, aren't we? We're almost there. We're almost on that angle. Orb. We're going to need a bigger boat. Orb, how does this stack against other sailing sims on Steam? Okay, so if you take out the fact that you said Steam, and let's compare it to other sailing sims, there are two much more realistic boat simulators out there. Neither of them do sailboats, though, and arguably there are some other regatta type racing simulators out there which I've never played, that people will argue till they're blue in the face that they are much better than this. The problem with this is that the physics are awful and the boats cannot collide together, so when you're racing people just sail straight through you, and it's just I have very little time for that. I think it's pointless. Having said that, it does track the world's wind and weather quite well, and you can sail all the way around the world, and there's no other sailing sim that does that. So I mean, that is its major selling point. I just wish it was more of a simulator and less of a game. But Sailaway 3 is coming out in August, so let's wait and see what he does. See if he improves those physics. I hope he will. Bike, you got your wheel all plugged in for tonight. Fantastico. It's going to be good fun. And England are playing tonight as well. So it's a double whammy of fun. We're almost there, aren't we? Almost there. Almost there. Ay, ay, ay. Slowly. 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 It's a good angle. I can watch the telltales now. So some other considerations for buying old boats, which is all I can afford. There are things that you don't have that modern boats do, like electricity plugs, USB charging points, power batteries, solar powered charging. None of that's on the boat. No heating in the boat. You know, they don't seem like problems until you're in the middle of the ocean, freezing cold. So, Orb, one of the things that Sailaway does not do well, sadly, is docking. So Sailaway really does wind, waves, weather, arguably sail trim, but not really that realistically because the physics are so bad. And that's it. That's all that Sailaway does. And you could do that anywhere around the world, which is cool. In real time, which is cool. But eSail is very much focused on the stuff you do in the harbour, or a man overboard situation, or you know, how to tack properly, how to, you know, the core skills of sailing. You can learn in eSail, and you'll never learn any of that in this game because it's just not done very well. But eSail and Sailaway, if they, I think I've said this before, if they got together and had a baby, that would be the best sailing sim we've ever seen, I think. If it had better physics. Hello, Organic Peroxide. How does one earn money in this game? You don't. There's no money in this game. That's another thing I think would be nice, actually. Is the ability to buy and sell boats. I think that would be fun. But, you know, not everybody's into that, so that's fine. You've just watched the eSail video on Steam, and it quotes me in the video saying how accurate it is. So I guess I spoke. They quote me, do they? Good God. Good God, I had no idea. I am famous after all. Here's me thinking I'm just sat in a shed, wasting my life away. There I am, famous. Now, eSail is brilliant for teaching you... so, like, if you've never been on a sailboat before, and you want to learn how to sail, and what all the bits are called, and how they work, and how it coordinates, and how to steer a boat in a tight area, and, you know, all the important stuff you need to learn, that's eSail right there. It's brilliant for that. And like I say, they've got a Man Overboard DLC, which I did promise to do a review on, and I haven't. So I ought to pull the finger out of my bum and get round to doing that. And I know why I didn't make that video, but it's too long an explanation to explain here. But I will get it done. I will get it done. Just as soon as I get to knives. Oh, Kev, if you're still watching, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that boat I bid on and lost out on last week or whenever it was, it's still available for whatever reason. Don't know why. Bit odd. But yeah, it's still on the cards. But I have evolved as a sailor since then, and I'm now looking at twin keels, so it probably won't be on the cards to buy. Despite it being a very, 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 very good boat. In terms of sailing stats and figures and so on. Right. What do you reckon? Can we get attack in now? Is it still too early? I think it's still too early, isn't it? I'm going to have a go. Oh. Might help if I press that button and get back in the boat. Right, here we go then. Ready to tack. Tack it away. Oh. Oh, by the skin of one's teeth, it may be possible. That's a really, really tight angle though, isn't it? Let's get the halyard up. Oh, I didn't put the halyard down, I put the... Put a reef end, didn't I? I remember. Come on, baby. Find that wind. may be too tight. Move the traveller. Oh, why can't I find the traveller? There we go. There we go. That sounded like we got the boat moving again. Oh my God, that's a lot of heel though. Right, theoretically we can squeeze our way through here. We'll see how it goes. Wow! It quotes me before Yachting Monthly. Good God. I am honoured. I am absolutely honoured. Just out of interest, what do Yachting Monthly say about eSail? Do they concur with my my findings? Oh no, we're beating against the waves. Oh my God, if this doesn't induce seasickness, nothing will. Yeah, this is going to be an experience I'm not looking forward to in the boat. Going to be very uncomfortable, very tiring. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Okay, Chris. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for popping in, mate. Nice talking to you as always. Remarkably close to the real world, but to be fair, they'd hardly put a quote in the promotional video saying anything otherwise. Well, this is true, but they did say it, and I think you can trust Yachting Monthly. I mean, not as much as you could trust me, obviously. That's why they put me at the top. But they could trust me, trust them a little. They're almost as trustworthy as Sim UK. Yeah, I'm going to get on eSail again. I do hope or wish that eSail can use voice commands to control the actions and stuff. Like on this game isn't particularly well designed for controllers, but I've managed to manipulate it so that I've got complete control over the boat and the ability to climb all over it as if I was really here, and that adds a lot to the immersion for me. But yeah, eSail doesn't quite, I couldn't get it to work in the same way. You're off to Tesco for the July edition right now. Fantastic. The only time I read those is when I'm in the doctor's, in the waiting room. Can't afford to buy them otherwise, you see. Problem. Very expensive, these magazines these days. I think we're healing a bit much. Yeah, I think we're I think we might be exceeding maximum heal there somewhat. If anyone's left that porthole open, we're all screwed. Yeah, I think that's too much. I'm going to put a reef in. If we're going to sneak our way through, that's I'm going to put a double reef in. If we're going to sneak our way through, we've got to do it in an upright fashion. It'll be very tight. It's going to get very shallow as well. Bit of a concern. Bit of a concern. Pardon me. Yeah, we'll be getting absolutely saturated in this weather. This is what I'm looking forward to, though, is going out there safely, heeling the boat over and just experiencing that feeling. I've had it before. I know what it feels like. It's incredible. It's exhilarating. And I want to be able to do that on my own boat. I really do. But I also want to learn the skills that make it safe to do so. That's part of the journey, I think. And I discovered yesterday or the day before that you're not legally allowed to operate a VHF radio unless you have a VHF certificate, which I didn't know. That did surprise me. Personally, I feel like that's more of a deterrent than an actual criminal offence. So, if, for example, you're on a boat, captain has a heart attack, and you don't have a license, and you jump on the radio, I don't think you're going to go to prison for that. Yeah, no, just interesting that they put such stipulations on the radio transmission. Look at that. That's nasty, isn't it? Oh. That's going to make whatever's in your tummy chundle around quite a lot. That's another thing that shocks me as well. Is the size of the masts. They're just mental. They're so big. And the bigger they are, the better the boat sails, apparently. Is that what I've heard? Yeah. Yeah, you can just imagine that. One day it'll be like that, I'm sure. The Coast Guard comes out, puts the cuffs on you. Oh, I don't know if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I got sent an email from Amazon saying that they've taken my they've taken my review of a product down to protect their customers or some rubbish like that. They didn't say what I'd said that was wrong. They didn't put a link to the review that they were complaining about. And they didn't, when I contacted them and asked them about it, they didn't say anything. They just said, oh, someone will contact you in the next couple of days, which they haven't. Yeah, I got another... I seem to be collared by the global leftists, I guess I would call them. And they're just trying to censor everything I say, so... I uploaded a video a couple of days ago of England against Switzerland in the penalty shootout when the keeper saved a goal, and unfortunately I uploaded the video and it's the wrong way round. It's in portrait instead of landscape. So many years ago there used to be a button in YouTube that allowed you to switch a video round if it was the wrong way round. So they took it away when Google took over YouTube. They took that ability away and hid it. But then people figured out how to unhide it. And for years, people were able to use it again. And now they've permanently removed it. So it's now, if you accidentally upload something in the wrong portrait or landscape orientation, that's it, you're screwed. You just have to delete it and upload it again. So anyway, whilst I was trying to figure out if you could still do it, I went onto this forum and some bloke said You know, why do they take such a useful feature out? I mean, it's obviously beneficial to people. Why would they remove it? It makes no sense whatsoever. And I said, and I swear to God, this is what I said. That is the new global business mentality, is to take a decent product and either add features that nobody likes or remove features that people do like, and they do that so that they can then charge you more money to then remove the features you don't like or reintroduce the features that they took away that used to be there, effectively making whoever more money at the end of the day. And that is what they silenced. Me saying that. I mean, I can't believe it. Can you believe it? Yeah. Let me know if my e-sale quote gets censored. Please do. Please do. Yeah. I think the new censorship seems to be, as long as you say things that help us sell more of this product, then it's fine. And if you say anything that's in any way derogatory or negative, then we'll silence you. That seems to be what's going on anyway. With me anyway. But what gets me is every time they send me one of these, we've removed your quotes for the safety of our customers. That's what they always say. Like I'm some sort of evil, twisted villain. It makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. It's like there's only one evil, twisted villain here, and it's you, Google. / Amazon / any other massive corporate company. It seems like morals and business just no longer coincide together, do they? Hollow volcano lair. That's what I need. That's what I need the boat for, so I can go and hunt out potential volcano sites to have my evil lair built into. Tis funny. Tis funny. I keep wondering what the next one's going to be. It's so many now. But at least you guys are being protected from me, hey? Oh, man. What the hell is that? Okay, Nautis Home Ship Simulator. It's just had a massive update. Would you like to know what it is? They're excited to announce the new update to the Maritime Simulator that's set to elevate my experience. Control. Oh yes, they've done it. They have actually done it. Finally. I've been working on a review for Nautis Home Ship Simulator since December last year, and they said they're going to bring in the ability to control the locks and the bridges with a new panel. And they've actually done it, but it's taken them since December to do it. They've actually done it now, which is good. I can make my review finally. So they've introduced lock and bridge controls, more accuracy with the chart updates, or try the blue sign function for the inland vessels. Don't know what that means. Ready to dive in? Take the wheel and take your training to the next level in Nautis Home 0.3.1.0. What else is new? There's more stuff. Ooh. A new vessel. They're introducing the Vienna. It's a river and canal navigating cargo ship. Goes further inland. Carries 96 large, 40-foot and 12 small 20-foot containers. Stacked 3 high and 4 wide. The adjustable wheelhouse allows the captain to see over the cargo or lower it to pass under bridges. Haha! That's kind of cool. Hey DZ, how you doing? Any luck on your boat hunting, DZ? I've had a bit of an update my end. Maybe we found a boat. Yeah, who's protecting me? You, blah, blah, blah. Who's protecting me from you lot? That is a very good question. Nobody, that's who. I'm out here all on my own, fending you guys off on a regular basis. You looking forward to Saturday evening multiplayer? Me too, mate. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to meet you properly then as well. DZ, harsh seas today. They are a bit. The swells are up a bit. We got 18 knots of wind. 18 knots of headwind, that is. And we're just trying to get around the headland. I've just noticed all my telltales have gone to sleep. Get this trimmed up proper. Get that speed back up. Yeah, we're just trying to get past the headland so that I can get a proper beam reach bit of speed going on down the coastline. But we got to get there first. We've been tacking for the last 2 hours, hour and a half, so we're not making much progress. But yes, DZ, how's your boat hunting going on? Have you found a boat? I think you said you were looking for a 30-footer or 32-footer, I forget. And whilst I'm flitting about from conversation to conversation, you can raise and lower the bridge on this boat, on the Vienna, so that you can go under low bridges, which is really kind of cool. And you can also control bridges, which is really kind of cool. That opens up a lot of extra areas. What's going on with the wind today? I just trimmed you 2 seconds ago. Being awkward. I'm not sure if we're going to squeeze through this gap. Getting narrower and narrower. Have I tried or plan on reviewing Forgotten Seas? Forgotten Seas. Let's have a look. Rings a bell. Ooh. Got a good rating. Early access, very positive. Okay, you throw a bottle in the water and a boat appears. That's interesting. Oh, it's got, like, city building. Swashbuckling. Cannon fights. Yeah, looks interesting. I'll take a look. I've not seen or heard of that game before, truth be told. But thank you for the heads up. I will have a look. You've actually won in sight, just waiting for the right moment to make an offer. It's a Delta 32 model fabricated there in Brazil. Nice. I'm going to have a look now. It's with a Delta 32. What is it? Is it split twin keel? I've forgotten all the keel names. It's just been swimming around in my head for so long. Delta 32. Let's have a look. Ooh. Oh, that looks very nice. Oh, good ratings as well. Where's my boat data thing channel? I'll find it in a minute. areas. Delta 32. Fractional sloop with a fin with wide spade rudder. Ooh. There's an interesting, yeah, single fin, nice. Should be fast then. Fiberglass, yeah, fiberglass. Iron ballast. Comfort ratio 23.3 and a capsize screening formula of 1.95, which means you can race in blue water races. Cool. What's your hull speed? Let's have a look. In here somewhere. 6.69 knots. That's a little bit faster than the boat I've been looking at. Very nice, mate. I hope you get it. I hope you get a good deal there. Oh my god, why are we healing so bad? I think we need to put another reef in here. See if that brings the speed up a bit. There we go, 4 knots. We're not going as fast in this direction because we are beating against the waves, but at least we are heading in the right direction. The direction we actually want to go in. Makes a big difference in the end when you're heading the right way. Cameras all over the bloody place. Been on the run. Designed by Peter Norlin. Wonderful. I don't know who Peter Norlin is, but that's a gorgeous looking boat. Delta 31, aka Albin. The battery's about to run out. That's a lovely looking boat. A really nice cockpit. I like that. Really open and clear. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, wow. Just taking a look inside, man. What a boat that is. That's a galley to die for. That's like having a proper kitchen, that is. That's nice. That's beautiful, mate. I love it. Maybe one day I'll sail to Brazil and you can show me around. What do we do here? We do here. Will I tack out for a bit of extra speed? Let's just see how fast we can go if I turn her in real tight. Go like... Oh. Maybe if I get on the boat, we'll be able to do that. Let's turn into like 45 degrees. Instantly, that seems to be a better configuration. Less heel, more speed. Yeah, okay, let's tack inland for a bit. I think I could probably drop some of that reef out as well. Yeah, look at that. We're now doing 5.1 knots, 5.2 knots. As soon as we get round that corner of England, we should be getting some decent speed going down the coastline, but I'm going to have to put in another tack. We're not quite far enough over yet. Where to God, I just saw a spider hanging from the ceiling. There's a bit of dust. DZ, thank you. We'll make that a plan. If I ever sail to Brazil, if I ever get that good, if the boat is ever capable, then I'll hook you up. We'll do a dinner date type thing. Dinner date? That sounded wrong. That's not what I meant. We'll sail together. That's what I meant. Sail and eat and drink. Be merry. Yeah, very excited. Very excited to get on the sea. How long have we been sailing now? Nearly 2 hours. Nearly 2 hours and I still haven't made it to Ilfracombe. Can't believe it. Getting out of the Bristol Channel is the hardest thing I've ever done in this game. Insanely difficult. Okay, we'll hold this tack inland for a bit and then I'll swing round the other way. Fingers crossed. We'll have the angle. Just trying to think now, how much angle am I going to have? Oh no, see, look, I'm going to have to do the same thing here. There's another little jutty, sticky outy bit I'd forgotten about. So in these wind conditions, I'm going to have to come almost as far as this before I can start really benefiting from it. We may have to just hitch up in here. Galandry Bower. Barnstaple Bay. I think that's where we're going to end up today. Sadly. But we could put the boat to see what maximum speed I can squeeze out of her. That'd be something at least. Alright. Let's do it. Let's tack her back round the other way. Tacking, tacking, tacking. We've hardly got any heel there, so I can reduce the reef. Hopefully it won't take too long. Ahoy there, Kenneth! How are you, sir? I hope you're well. I hope you brought ginger biscuits. I've heard today ginger biscuits are very good for seasickness. And I've also heard, which is a bit disappointing, that no matter how long you sail, and no matter how good your sea legs are, you can still get seasickness. No probs, Irvin. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday. If I'm live either tomorrow or Friday, you'll watch the stream if you have time. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, looking forward to it, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, my friend. Top lad. What a top lad. Wow, we're actually not going very fast here. 3.5 knots. Not healing that much. Why are we so slow? Trim looks pretty good. Very much on a 30-degree angle. I'm just going to sit on this angle because it's the direction we want to go, and it might be a little bit faster to go off that angle, but no, I want to be able to tack in and sail hard all the way down to the next bay. It's been really difficult to get along this Bristol coastline. Struggling like Billio to make any headway, and the wind never bloody blows out. Always blowing back in. Getting into the Bristol Channel super easy. I could do that any day of the week. Getting out of it, a nightmare. In fact, I should Google that. See if anyone's got any advice. How easy is it to sail out of the Bristol Channel? General advice on Bristol Channel tides from the Portishead Cruising Club. They say, after several uneventful and stress-free passages, it is easy to be lulled into complacency. When the sailing is good, it is very good. However, when the weather turns, you can easily find that making your required course is difficult, and this is proof of it right here. The channels are relatively narrow in places, and there are many shoals and shores, which is not simulated well in this game, but I knew that because I've looked at the charts. But when the wind is blowing in the opposite direction to the tide, then short choppy waves can develop. Wind over tide, that's called. These waves will considerably slow your progress through the water. This is especially important if you're attempting to punch the tide, as you may not make any forward progress at all, or even end up going backwards over the ground. Am I going over? What's my speed over ground? 3.9. Okay, we're alright. Even when you've set out in good conditions, when the tide turns, the sea state can change considerably. And beware of the buoys. Wow, okay. So, yeah, the Bristol Channel is a dangerous bit of water by all accounts. I suspected as much, but they're really drumming it home here. They're saying that the buoys in the Bristol Channel are robustly constructed to cope with the extreme tidal rates, and a combination of these two factors means that a buoy which appears to be well off your bow may actually be dead in your path, because if you're not sailing with the tide, you're actually drifting, so you can end up coming across yourself without even knowing it. Then there's the sandbanks. There's a large number of sandbanks in the Bristol Channel. It is possible to go ashore on them. It's not recommended. Even the hard patches of dry and sand will become soft as the tide comes in. Also, if your boat is anchored off the sands, then getting back to it again against the tide may not be possible. Bilge keel and flat bottom boats have dried out over low water on the Welsh sands. This is risky as there are a couple of wrecks on the sands, and can also be dangerous as the sea conditions can deteriorate rapidly, meaning that you would have to float off in breakers. I don't know what that means. Tidal rates of 3 to 5 knots, raging up to 8 knots in the Bristol Channel. And I was thinking of buying a boat and sailing it down the Bristol Channel on my very first go. What an absolute disaster that would have been. I'd have been in so much trouble. I'd have been really, 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 really dicing with death if I'd have done that. There's no way I have the kind of experience necessary to deal with all of that stuff going on at the same time. Kind of glad that I fired up the sim. I've learnt so much just by playing this game. And researching and reading and so on. And talking to you guys and listening to you guys. You guys out there have given me loads of great info. I feel like we're almost ready to tack. Almost. Give it 5 more minutes. Put a timer on. Timer. 5 minutes and I'll tack. Right, timer is on. Oh, well, Lassie is live. Cool beans. Got a wind angle there a bit. The waves were pushing us slightly off course. Slight adjustment, we're back up to 5 knots. Perfect. Ooh, it looks like the wind angle has changed. I think the wind angle has changed. I think we can get a 30-degree turn in here now. Based on what the wind is currently doing. Let's tack and find out. Zoom in a bit. I could be wrong. I don't know, we're getting some pretty decent speed. We're doing 5 knots, heeling at 32. Yeah, I think we're alright. I think we're okay. I'm not quite sure that angle is going to work though. I think we're going to slam into the flipping... The wind angle has changed again. Alright. Back to where we were. 5 minutes on this tack. And then hopefully we can turn in. With a 5-minute timer. I'm going to drop in on Wallasey and say hello. Turn it up so you guys can hear him. This isn't him. This is the Wilkinson sword advert. Looks like he's by the beach as well. Oh, I've only got 5% battery.
Well, hello there. How's long, sir? It's good long.
He's out killing pigs.
How is yours coming? Kind of hard.
Collecting food for his people. He's pretending to collect food for his people. No, we don't have summer. We don't have summer in the UK anymore. We used to have summer. These days, it's like 1 or 2 days of sun and that's it. I'm going to say happy birthday to whoever that was. And then say sorry to say hi and leave. He's doing well. He's doing well. Right, we've got 1 minute and 45 seconds before I can tack. According to my own restriction. Gillette and Wilkinson's sword always increase ads during football tournaments, as if a football shaveling would make me less lazy. That's a very valid point. They do that. You're absolutely right. And they always use footballers, don't they? Yeah. A stark contrast from when they insinuated that all men were like wife beaters or whatever it was that really upset everybody. That advert direction did not go down well. Right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, fellow sailors of the sim. Oh, see my front trim there is a bit pants. Let's tidy that up. Main sail's doing a good job though. 4.5 knots for 5 minutes. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? I'm waiting for the beeper to go off. And then we can turn. Get in there, get in there, get in there. What's that reflection behind me? Oh, it's the... Yeah, it's the light coming through the window. Because I haven't got the main light on, so you can really see it. Right, 4.3 knots. It's got to be any second now, isn't it? Don't strike too early. Just wait, be patient. Any minute now. Any minute now. Come on. Beep, 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 beep. Getting impatient. I want to attack. To be honest with you, still don't think we're going to be quite in the right place. I don't think 5 minutes is long enough. Might need to do another 5 minutes after this. What? Well, that's stupid. Time was up 1 minute and 30 seconds ago, but the alarm didn't go off. How annoying. Right, let's turn in and see what we've got on a 30-degree trajectory. Is it going to be enough? Just. I think we're finally on it at last. Right, so that's as tight as I can come in. That's pretty good. 4.1 knots. 4.2. I'm okay with that. Obviously, I'd like to be going faster, but at least we're heading in the right flipping direction. Does that sound like a leaking gutter downspout in game? Yes, it is. It's making you want to pee. Yep. That's one of the good things about sailing. One of the better things about sailing is that, you know, in weather conditions like this, it's going to be so wet up on the cockpit that you don't have to go downstairs to pee. You just pee where you're sitting. Nobody will ever know. Because your clothes will be thoroughly washed through with salt water and jellyfish poo, or whatever the hell's in the sea these days. For that, 4.8 knots. We are finally flying and heading in the right direction whilst beating against the waves. Nice. 5.5 knots was the fastest I managed to squeeze out last time round. Once we get past the headland, I'm hoping we can do better than that. What time's it now? God, nearly 3:30 already. 2 hours of sailing, we barely got anywhere. My perception of sailing speeds are in need of some tweaking. Yeah. Clothes full of salt water and microplastics. Exactly. That's the reality of it. Yep. God knows what else is in the sea these days. I just had a thought. If there are wrecks all along the Bristol Channel, which make it dangerous for try again, which make it dangerous for bilge keels to sit on the sand, then surely they should be highlighted with like a yellow buoy, like all around the Isle of Wight. All around the Isle of Wight, there are wrecks and wrecks and wrecks. I mean, there are hundreds of wrecks around the Isle of Wight, but they all appear to be marked by little yellow buoys so that you don't accidentally go and park on top of them, I suppose, or sail into them or whatever. I wonder why they don't do that in the Bristol Channel. I would think that quite an important bit of navigation information to have. Let's have a little look-see in the direction we're going. What? It's where the ginger hobnobs have to come out. Whoop. I wish the audio was a bit better in this game as well. Because at this moment in time, the boat should be basically shaking and rattling the living daylights out of itself. Like, up, slam. I mean, there was a bit of a bang there, but it's not enough, is it? It'd definitely be more prominent. You would be feeling this through your spine. Big wave. No. Big wave. Nothing. Nothing. "16 knots of wind." We're getting 20 where we are. Interesting. I switched to the Windy app. So yeah, we're getting a little bit more wind in game than they reckon we're getting in real life. How long do I reckon it's going to take now? I think we're looking at another hour. Easy. This is not a fast boat. Something I'm going to have to mentally adjust to, I think, when I get my own boat, because I don't think my boat's going to be very fast either. Unless, of course, I change the rigging. which could give me an extra 4 knots. I mean, that's huge, right? If your maximum speed is 6 knots and someone says this will make you go 4 knots faster, you've damn near doubled your speed. I've got an idea. Where's the thing? There it is. Whoa, let's not do that. Bring this over. Slide it in and tie it. Okay, so back to Nautis Home Ship Simulator and the updates they're having. The blue sign is a tab for controlling the blue sign, and it's available on all inland vessels. Now, it looks like a little telly with like a directional indicator in it, I guess. And then they include the road maps. So where are we up to? So what's coming next? Distress signals, traffic lights, orbit cam upgrade, traffic options. Oh, that's a good one. Chart improvements again. And then, this is where it gets exciting. Then we're going to have mooring, radar improvements, AIS, CPA, TCPA, thrust allocation, deck lights, and day shapes. What the hell are day shapes? I don't know what that means. I think we're heeling over too far. Let's just pull her in a little smidge there. Get a refund, I think. When I say that, we're doing 4.8 knots. We are heeling a bit far. Age-old statement. If you're thinking maybe it's time for a reef, it's already time for a reef. There we go. We're actually getting a little bit faster. 5.1 knots and less heel. That's what they call a win-win situation. That's at that front, isn't it? The least bit. There we go. Alrighty. Right, and then after that, the last two things on the list are basic multiplayer and track progress. There's a survey at the bottom, which I'm going to have to fill in. Take the survey. Okay. Now, I have asked them recently about whether or not they're thinking of swapping the payment system, and they didn't say no. So, I'd be interested to see what these questions are. What specific topics would you like to learn about? Please share any areas of interest or knowledge gaps you experience. Navigation. Planning. Especially around tidal and night time sailing. Oh. Temporarily lost internet. That was good timing. Try again. Oh. Oh, that's weird. I have lost internet in the shed. That is strange. My device has been paused. Okay. Okay, fine. That's not working. Don't know what's happened there. New bug for me to fix. Lovely. It's just like being on a real boat, this is. Everything's breaking around me. Try and figure it out. Right. Bosh. Which of the following topics would you most like to learn about? Navigation and charts? Yes. Emergencies like man overboard and fire? Yes. Equipment failure? Yes. Maneuvering? Yeah. Mooring? Oh, mooring, yeah. Towing? Oh, you can only pick 3. Okay, so I've gone for navigation charts, passage planning, mooring with current and wind, a VHF, AIS, DSC. Actually, yeah. Only pick 3. I want to know all of that, really. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with Naughty's home? Okay. Well, that's silly, because it doesn't tell you whether 1 is a lot or 10 is a lot. I'm guessing 10 is a lot. So I'm going to say... I'm going to say a solid 7. How likely are you to recommend Naughty's to others? Yeah. I recommend it. It's really good. How is your satisfaction with our support team? I am satisfied. Yeah. Okay. Bosh. Done. Bandabby dozy. So lots of good stuff coming. I'm going to be doing some Naughty's Home Ship Simulator streams in the future. I'm just going to turn this fan up as well because it's getting warm in here. That'll be a lot more hands-on than this is. A lot more realistic. The physics are incredible. A lot of fun to play. With all the new stuff they're bringing in as well, it's going to be good. Wow, looks like we're heading straight at the mainland here, doesn't it? We are on a 45-degree angle, so I can shift it ever so slightly should I need to. Right, guys, I'm going to leave you in charge of the boat for 2 minutes. I'm just going to go refill my water bottle. And probably empty my bladder at the same time. Seems like a good idea. So yes, please don't let us crash. I'll be back in 2. You've done a fantastic job, everybody. 4.6 knots, 4.5, very nice. Maintaining speed and course. All good, all good. It looks like we're just going to get away with it as well. Tremendous. They are healing quite a bit. I need an extra bit of reef in there. There we go, still maintaining speed, but less heal. Another win-win situation. Fantastic. Ooh. So this boat is not a fast boat. I think we've proved that beyond all doubt. Despite its single long keel, doesn't seem to be handling sailing into the wind at all well. It's going to make circumnavigating the UK a very, very slow experience. Oh good, my network's come back up. That's good. I can hear some flappy, flappy, flappy sails. But I seem to get back on the boat. What's happened? Hi, Finn. DZ, do I follow the channel Sailing Florence? That rings a bell. Hang on, what the hell's happened to my controller here? I've lost control of the boat, everybody. Don't panic. We're only heading straight towards England. Is Sailing Florence the one with a dad, a blonde wife? The dad's got a beard, the wife is blonde, and they have a little baby on board. Is that one? Oh, this is weird. I can't seem to get back in the boat. Ah! I'm overboard, guys. I've been knocked overboard. Oh, what's happened here? Temporary glitch. My controller seems to have gone disconnected. Oh, no. It's reconnected now. Okay. There we go. Temporary glitch. We get these things when we're sailing. It looks like the sails have sorted themselves out as well. We're still doing 4.8 knots, 4.9 knots. This is good. Chugging along quite nicely. Hi Finn, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm going to look now. Sailing Florence. I think I recognise that name. How does YouTube work? Oh yeah. Open it first. Is it Sailing Florence or Sailing Yacht Florence? Oh, she's sailing around Britain. Oh, okay, awesome. Thumbs up, subscribe. Sailing Yacht Florence. That looks really cool. What is she sailing? Does it tell you what she's sailing anywhere? Pardon me. Heading towards Whitby. Oh, what is it? 37-foot sailboat. Been sailing around the world for 8 years. Wow. After setting off from England in 2016. Wow. How has that never come up in any of my searches? That looks so cool. Thank you. I will be looking for that. Oh, okay, yeah, brilliant. I found the right one. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna be binge watching that, I think. That looks brilliant. I'm always jealous when people have a bigger boat than what I'm gonna have, but at the same time, gotta be realistic, haven't you? I mean, I'd love to have a 100-foot yacht. I really would, but that's for maybe in 20 years, 30 years time. Ay, ay, ay. 5 knots is slow. I've ordered my oh, that might be it. I was gonna say I've ordered my life jacket, and because I'm 6 foot tall, very wide shoulders, massive fat belly, which I want to get rid of. Long story behind that. It was quite difficult to find one that's going to fit me. Well, not just fit me, but also have enough ballast to actually keep me afloat, you know. Not as easy as you might expect. So it's going to be a bit of a test. See whether or not it's done the job. Let's see if that was it. Somebody was at the door. See if it was a delivery in the shape of a life preserver. No, I don't know who that is. That's a bit of an interesting one. Bear with me, I'm going to have to go check that out. Sorry about that, everybody. We're all good. Back on track. I thought I'd run in quick before we slammed into the side of England. Looks like we're going to hit it as well. Yeah, let's change our angle ever so slightly. We're still holding 30-degree angle. Guess we got a little bit of play there. May even be able to put the take the reef out. Bit of heel. We'll see. We'll struggle through. We've just got to get round that lip. See, I can bring her in slightly more than that. $35. That's not too bad at all. We can work with that, definitely. Definitely. Finn, do you have a boat? I don't have a boat. I assume you mean IRL, in real life. I don't have a boat at the moment. But I am looking. I am hoping and praying and trying to get something suitable to sail around the UK and maybe over to Spain. Maybe over to Spain. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Might be a pipe dream. The boat might not be up for it, and neither might I. Sailed along the Sea of Biscay a few times before. Once in simulation mode and once on a massive cruise ship. And both times the weather was bloody awful. So you've got to be careful with that. Hello, Philip. Hello from Cardiff. You go to Penarth Marina quite regular. Oh, nice. So, Philip, you could probably fill me in. Right, okay, so I don't know if you know the story, Philip. I'll fill you in as quick as I can. The whole reason why I'm doing this route from Cardiff to Poole is because there was a boat for sale in Cardiff, which I really like the look of. And I put a bid on it. I didn't win it. But my intention was to sail from Cardiff back to Poole with zero, well, I say zero sailing experience. I have technical sailing knowledge, some, but very little practical sailing experience. And I thought it was going to be quite easy to navigate the Bristol Channel. And so far, I have learnt that that is not the case. But what do you think my chances would have been to successfully navigate that route on my own? First time sailing a new boat. Or any boat. First time sailing a boat on my own in 20 years, 25 years. Do you think I could have made it? Actually, not 25 years, 20 years. Do you think I would have successfully navigated the Bristol Channel, or do you think I would have been smashed into a million bits? Because I'm starting to think being smashed into a million bits is more likely to what would have happened. And I was reading, was it Penarth? No. I was reading like tips and advice on sailing the Bristol Channel from another sailing club in the area. Let's see if I can remember who it was. We began with P. Carnarvon? Carnarvon. No. That's where my uncle lives. Oh, here we are. Portishead. Yeah, I was reading that, and they definitely paint a dangerous story. Do you have a boat, Finn? Are you a sailor yourself? Let me go external cam here. Ding. Good. A little bit close to shore, but I think we're going to be okay. I think I've timed it just about right. There's no tidal current in this game, which is quite frustrating. Penarth, just past the pier between Barry, is called the Ranny. It's every rough and wants to drag you into Sully Island. And you've heard of a few that got it wrong. Oh, Finn, what sailboat do you have, buddy? What are you sailing at present? So interested to know. I've discovered as well, guys, in the last 2 months where I've started to take this more seriously, that the sailing community is a fantastic community. Everybody's so friendly and helpful and informative and knowledgeable. It's brilliant. I should have done it years ago. Penarth just past the pier. Right, I'm going to Google that and see what you're talking about. I'm going to use Savvy Navi, which I'm not sure is as good as I think it is. It may just be that I'm crap with using it. But I've heard there are a few other options out there, so I'm going to investigate them as well. Maybe I'll give them like each a trial. That's a good idea. I mean, what a great video that would be, right? A complete rookie using 3 different bits of software to try and work out the same thing. Right. So a lot of tacking in the Bristol Channel today. So if we... I see Barry. You did say Barry, didn't you? Between the pier and Barry. Wow, yeah. I can see a lot of... Where's the pier then? I can see, when I zoom in a little bit further than I ever have done before, I can see there are a lot of areas here that basically say, do not sail here. Very dangerous. You can see a lot of wrecks all around Barry. Lady Windsor Lock, I can see a lot of boats have sunk there. Holy crud. How do people get in there then if it's not recommended for sailing, or maybe not recommended for my depth of boat? Is that by Sully Bay? Am I in the right area? Because I can't see. Can't see the pier in Savvy Navi. You bought it this winter. It's a Wassa 55. Ooh, nice. You live in Denmark, you use Google Translate. That's fine, Finn, no problem. I'm sure your English is much better than my Danish. So don't worry about that one bit. Built in Sweden, 1978. That's when I was born. I'm in the right place, Phil. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can see there's a lot of wrecks in that area. I mean, just on this one section alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behind that thing. 9 there. Right next to it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 wrecks just on the outskirts of that lock there. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, what was the island? Sully Island. I see it. I got it now. Yeah. Okay. We did all right coming out of that bit. To be fair, we did go straight to the middle of the channel and kind of avoided all of that area. Yeah, it's dangerous waters around Britain. Really dangerous waters. Right, let's have a look at this boat. What was it called? Wassa 55. I don't think I've heard of that, but I imagine it's beautiful, right? Oh, yes. That's a nice looking boat. 2 meters draft. Oh, gosh. Capsize screening rating 1.46. That's good. Comfort ratio 29.2. That's also very good. Yeah, that is a nice boat. Very nice boat. Designers Harry Becker and Leif Angermark. Or Leif Angermark. Not quite sure how you pronounce that. Let's see if I can get a picture of the inside. You see the design. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's very nice. It's like the Houses of the Commons in this particular picture. That's luxurious, man. Oh, very nice. I'm going to have to come over and see you as well, Finn. I have to sail over. Actually, I want to sail over to Denmark and Norway, and I love Norway. Norway's just so beautiful. Never been to Denmark, but yeah. When I'm in the area, I'll let you know. You could come and show me this fantastic boat. Oh, look at the galley. Oh. Wow, man, that's a nice boat. And oh wow, the what do you call it? The charts table. Woohoo! Beautiful. Beautiful boat. I bet you are a happy man, yeah. Where do you sail to, Finn? Do you just sail casually at the weekends, or are you touring the world? What are you doing on that wonderful boat? That's a beauty. Very, very nice. Phil, what are you sailing? I didn't ask you, did I? What are you out on the water in? And also, Finn, how many berths is that, if I didn't already ask you? How many people can you get to sleep in there? 8? 10? One day I'll have something a little bit bigger. Maybe. I don't know. The bigger the boat, the scarier and harder it's got to be to manage it inside tight harbours and stuff. Looking good. Oh man, look, I'm running out of time. It's already 4:20. The wife is gonna call me in for dinner anytime soon, and we're not even flipping. We're still not past flipping Ilfracombe. Well, no, actually, technically we are, but only just. How on earth am I going to get down into this? Oh, you got a fishing boat. You can't do the sailing. It's too hard. Oh, fantastic. Nice. So Phil, do you do your fishing in the Bristol Channel? Or do you go out into the Atlantic? Scary job, that. Isn't it weird? I'm quite happy with the theoretical idea of sailing out into the Atlantic. But to take a fishing boat out there scares the crap out of me. Isn't that weird? I think I'm being delusional. I'm sure I am. I think if I actually went out there on a sailboat, I'd be that captain that's down in the galley with a cup of tea crying my eyes out. That'd be me. Here's a promise, by the way, guys. If I ever do manage to get a boat and I have an incident like that, and I find myself down in the galley with a cup of tea crying my eyes out, I will stream that for you. So you can see what it's like. The emotional overload. The fear. The sheer adrenaline. I think we're healing too much here, aren't we? Are we? We're not, though. Well, maybe we are. Stick a reef in. That'll just help us get a little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra angle whilst we passed Rockham Bay, I think that says. Morty Point. Or Mort Point, something like that. Mainly the Bristol Channel. The furthest we went was Lundy. That was enough for me. I don't know where Lundy is. I'll have a look in a minute. It's very... Listen to him. It's very narrow at 2.55 metres. 8 bunk beds. Nice. Wow. Hang on. 8 bunk beds? So 16 people? Or it can sleep 8 in bunk beds. You could either sleep 16 or 8. 2.55 metres is, in comparison to all the boats I've been looking at, probably one of the, well, yeah, they're all about 2.5 or less. But I suppose for that size boat, it's a bit slimlined. But then I guess that also helps to go a bit faster. Oh, look. I can see a little island off in the distance. Right, let me just see where Lundy is. I've heard of Lundy. Lundy appears to be like a travel company as well. Lundy, Bristol Channel, there we go. Lundy is a bird watcher's paradise with its own particular character. But mind the swell, says Jonty Pierce. Lundy's anchorage is well sheltered from the west, but it suffers from persistent swell hooking around the island. It's a dangerous area, isn't it? Bristol Channel. God, blimey. You got serious rips. You've got something called, what did he just say? White horses. Which I think is waves breaking, right? Something like that. You might like this, Phil. This guy here who's writing about this has... He said, Lundy's not my favourite anchorage. I've nicknamed it Lumpy. Because of the swell. So many places I want to go see. And try it out. Oh, it's by Ilfracombe. Is it really? Okay. I didn't actually see where it was on the map. That's what I meant to do. I got distracted. Try again. Oh, it's a proper island. Is it that island over there? Hang on. Is that it there? It is. That's Lundy Island. Ah. You know, I've been looking at that for the last couple of weeks whilst we've been sailing around the Bristol Channel, and I wondered what it was. It's Lundy Island. Now I know. Thank you very much. I've learnt something. 13.5 meters long. It's on land right now. Oh, okay. You're about to find out what you bought. There are many small things that need to be done. Cool. You haven't taken it out yet. That's awesome. Hey, Fred. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it does sound like someone's urinating on the on the deck. Yeah, we just let the seawater wash it off. It's fine. You're going to go to Norway, Sweden, and Finland, and the big dream is Iceland. Oh, I want to do Iceland. I've always wanted to sail over to Iceland. That's quite a big one, though. That's some proper treacherous water there. My work here is done. You have educated me. Thank you, sir. I do love it when I learn new things off you guys when I'm doing streams and stuff. It happens all the time. I was saying, it's the sailing community thus far, and I've only really been talking to people for the last two months, if that. It's brilliant. Everyone's just got so much knowledge and, you know, happy to share and educate, and fantastic bunch of people. Everybody I've met so far. And I was saying last week, you guys probably didn't see it, but you know, I was tapping people up. People are selling their boats, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm a complete noob. I'm going to be sailing mostly solo, but I will be taking a family of 4 on occasions. Do you think this boat is suitable?" And even though they're trying to sell the boat, they were like, "Oh, to be honest with you, mate, no, I don't think this is the right boat for you. I would recommend X, Y, and Z." I mean, just brilliant. You don't get that anywhere else. Well, I've never seen that before. People being actually helpful. We are really close to the shore here. What's the ground clearance like? It's actually quite deep. It's like 12 meters deep. I think we're going to be okay. Depth below keel is 4.8 meters right now. I'm just going to keep a really close eye on that, because we are very close to the shore. And I can always just turn to starboard ever so slightly. Got a bit of wiggle room. 4.7, 4.6. We look okay. You did. You taught me something new for shizzles. And now I've just added that to my list of places to go. So thank you. If I ever do manage to get my tour of Britain on the go, you'll know why I'm going there. See all the birds in the swell. 4.4. 4.5. 4.4. We should be fine. We should be fine. Trust in the charts. .8, 3.7. That drops rather dramatically. Supposed to be 12 meters deep here. Or I wonder if that's in feet. Maybe that's in feet. 3.4. 3.3. Uh-oh. 3.2. 3.1. It's getting a little bit close now. And obviously you got the swell as well, so I've got to have to be careful of that. 3.5. Okay, let's go back up. 3.6. Maybe it was a wreck or something down there. Have I ever been on the Waverley? It's an old paddle steamer that sails from Penarth Pier to Ilfracombe on a regular basis. No, I haven't. It's one I haven't done. Sounds like a bit of a sketchy route. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's safe. 4.1 metres. We're good. Safe. Look at that. That's Ilfracombe, guys. Over there, I think. The town. Right on the corner of... Oh, I forget where it is. Moor Point and Beckham Bay. Just heading into Mortar Bay. .1. I think we're safe now. So I could turn a bit more angle in and we could see just how much I can push this boat. I'm going to really open her up. And the jib. Take the reef out. And we'll see what sort of speed I can get out of her. See if we can get up to 6 knots. That's the target first. Perfect target. Well, 5.8 already. We're nearly doing 6 knots. What's the wind speed here? It has dropped a bit. It's down to 16. Oh, this is nice sailing. Been bloody hard sailing all day. Finally improved. 5.8. I'm not sure we're going to hit 6, but this is the fastest we've been. 5.7, 5.8. I really don't think this boat is going to do 9. Got a lot of wind angle available to me, but... I think that's the... Oh, look at this. 6.1. I'm really pushing it now. .1. I think that's about the best we're going to get out of this boat. 6.5, baby. Not the best boat in the world for sailing distance, I think. But a bloody good learning experience for me. Lots of lessons learnt. And we got a fairly decent 5.5 knot sail finish to get down the bottom and chuck the old anchor out. Probably going to have the front and a rear anchor. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Erica and Era. Is that your boat? Is that actually your boat? Oh my god. I am so excited to see this right now. Let me jump in. How do you spell that? Erika, I-K-A, and Era. Wait, hang on. Is that... Finn, is that the same as your boat? Or is that your boat? Or is that you? There be land, said Orb. Land ahoy, sir. Land off the starboard bow. I know Eric Andy, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Eric Andera. He is a great YouTuber. I've watched him sail over... He likes to sail between Norway and... Where does he sail between? I watch him all the time. It's a lot of fun to watch. He likes to go out in the worst conditions, doesn't he? Stormforce 10, I've watched that one. North Sea. Oh, he went to Greece at one point. Seen that one. Yeah. Yeah, he's a top YouTuber. I do watch him a lot. No BS, just sailing. Yeah, that's his catchphrase, I remember now. Klingons 2. Klingons on the starboard bow. Nice. Good old Orb. Super witty Orb. Such a great song as well. It's one of my all-time favourite songs, that is. Right, so, I mean, I'm looking at the bay, and we're going to get no wind protection whatsoever. So we'd have to top and tail the anchor, face into the wind, and top and tail the anchor. So I'm just thinking maybe I don't want to sail too far into the bay, because depending on what the weather is like next time I come out sailing, I want to be able to try and get an angle out of the bay straight away, because I think that's the last lip there, isn't it? Let's check. Oh no, there's a much bigger lip there. Okay. So yeah, I need to try and have an angle for that. So I think what I'm gonna do is set her up here. So let's find the jib halyard. This should right the boat. Spent all day tacking, and just as we get to the nice wind, I've got to call it a day. How annoying. Right. Turn her into the wind. We'll drop it down. And that, guys, is where we're going to stop for today's episode. He's on the island right now, is he? Of Greece. I see there's another channel I'm going to have to catch up with watching. He's a bit of an advanced sailor, though. I mean, I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff. Not yet, anyway. One day. One day. Right, we're anchored up. We're in the bay. And more lessons learnt. Slightly rough weather today, but, you know, we made it work, didn't we? We've made progress. We've edged slightly further round. I just need the right wind conditions so that I can actually get some proper progress around this Cornish coastline, which is totally kicking my butt at the moment. Guys, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for everyone dropping in, saying hi, especially those of you who have left messages in the chat. It's always great to hear from you. And I've learnt lots of brilliant things too, so thank you for that. Hopefully you'll join me again the next time we're out, and hopefully the weather conditions will be slightly more favourable for heading down the Cornish coastline. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye for now.